It may be hard to believe, but the end of the semester is just over a month away. Coming up, we'll show you how some Red Raiders are preparing to walk the stage in May while others are showing off their work from the past year.
The Student Activities Board recently invited students out to Urbanovsky Park for an evening of creativity and fun, featuring a flying disc. MCTV's Reese Futch will have a special look at SAB's Frisbee Fiesta.
The weather forecast for this weekend is looking a little wet, but rain may not be enough to keep a group of Red Raider athletes off the diamond. MCTV's Trinity Boudreaux has a preview of a big upcoming series for Texas Tech baseball in sports.
And with the end of the semester also comes the start of exams and final projects for students across campus. But the final grade for some Red Raiders is dependent on their ability to show off their skills in front of an audience. MCTV's Jalen Smith brings us the sights and sounds of a recent end-of-the-semester performance for some talented students in the School of Music.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Yemi Akinyeye.
And I'm Abigail Foster. In less than 6 weeks, Red Raiders will walk the stage at the United Supermarkets Arena for the spring commencement ceremonies. And if you're graduating, time may feel like it's flying by.
In between classes, homework, and exams, it may be difficult to find enough time to get everything in order for graduation. Luckily, one recent event here on campus helped make the process easier for students walking the stage in May. On Tuesday and Wednesday, the Raider Depot campus store set up a temporary shop in the sub-courtyard for the spring grad fair. Representatives from the store were available along with several other companies that offered students a chance to check off items on their graduation to-do list. Red Raiders planning to take part in the December ceremony could get signs for their cap and gown, order a diploma frame and graduation announcements, take a graduation photo, or even register for the upcoming commencement ceremonies. This week's grad fair was specifically aimed at students graduating this semester, but if you didn't make it to the sub, there's still time to get things in order before graduation. The Raider Depot campus store is open Monday through Saturday with caps, gowns, honor cords, and more available directly in the store. Raider Depot is open from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. You can also shop online at texastechstore.com.
Graduation may still be almost 6 weeks away, but finals starts in less than a month. And with the spring semester coming to a close, many end-of-the-year events are starting to pop up on the calendar. The Center for Transformative Undergraduate Experiences, or TRUE, kicked off the 2026 Undergraduate Research Conference yesterday morning. Students from across campus gathered at the museum at TTU's Sculpture Court at 8:30 a.m. to set up for the first of 2 general abstract poster sessions. The first group of presenters started welcoming guests at 9:30 a.m., speaking to faculty, staff, and fellow students about their research over the next hour and a half. Wednesday's schedule continued with a second general session starting at 2 p.m. in the museum. But TRUE also hosted a special session specifically for the Department of History at noon at the Ranching Heritage Center. This year's conference continued into today with 2 more sessions at TTU's Museum Sculpture Court at 9:30 a.m. this morning and the final session at 1:30 this afternoon. The Undergraduate Research Conference is one of 20 events hosted by the university in April during the 2026 Discoveries to Impact Month. For more information on this year's Discoveries to Impact Month, including the full schedule of events, visit dti.ttu.edu.
The Student Activities Board may not be hosting any end-of-the-year events just yet, but the group still has plenty of fun and free options planned each week until the start of finals. This week, SAB offered a special event for students to use their creative skills and take home a sweet-smelling decoration. Meadow on a Mason took place from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. yesterday afternoon inside the northeast entrance to the sub. Students passing by could stop and grab a mason jar, pick out some dried flowers and aroma beads, and combine them to design a unique keepsake. Daytime coordinator Ryan Ruvalcaba says the inspiration for this week's craft came from the change of seasons here on campus.
I think we chose kind of now because it's very springy, very fun, very relaxing, and then made for students. A lot of daytime events are very relaxing, something that isn't going to take too much time, is easy, something you can use in your room. That's kind of what we think about.
Meadow on a Mason was one of SAB's only events this week following the Easter holiday, but the group is already planning another fun and free option for next week. Sab will be heading to Golf Suites next Wednesday night to give Red Raiders a chance to hit the green and practice their swing. The first 300 students to show up between 6 and 9 p.m. will get in free to the facility located a few miles west off campus off the Marcia Sharp Freeway. For more info and to keep up with all of Sab's remaining events this spring, search for Texas Tech Sab on Facebook and Instagram.
This past Monday marked the first full week of April and the continuation of a cooling trend that dropped temperatures into the 60s over Easter weekend. But temperatures started warming up again by midweek.
The jump in temperatures is just the start of even more changes headed our way. So what can we expect as we end the week? Chief Weather Specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us in studio with details in today's MCTV forecast. Elizabeth?
Thanks, Yemi. Yeah, well, we've been warm the past week, but no 90-degree temperatures for April so far. A little bit breezy as we take a look out today at our MCTV tower cam. You can really see those trees moving. And we've had clear conditions today as well as the past couple weeks. And unfortunately, this has further contributed to our drought conditions across the South Plains area. Almost everyone in the South Plains at least seeing severe drought levels right now. And some of those northeastern counties even seeing extreme drought levels here in the South Plains area. However, we do have some chances for precipitation starting later this evening, hopefully helping those drought conditions across the South Plains area. Chances tonight low, but not impossible. Around 8:30 p.m. some scattered showers throughout the South Plains area, getting cloudy here in Lubbock, moving out as we head in early tomorrow morning, and then bringing in some clouds as we head into tomorrow, as well as some chances for some shower pockets here and there tomorrow. However, the biggest chance for rain is going to be on Saturday in the afternoon, later evening time. Along with those chances of rain, chances for severe weather are possible. Even today, we have a chance for thunderstorms, risk of severe weather here locally in Lubbock, and a marginal risk up in those northwestern counties. And then that is going to bleed into tomorrow, and we could see severe weather as well on Saturday. As far as totals go, not much as far as today goes and Friday. However, Saturday we could possibly see a ½ inch to an inch of rain by the end of the day on Saturday, which we are hoping for to help our drought levels here in the South Plains area. Tonight, lows across the South Plains in the 50s, lower 60s across off the Cap Rock. Tomorrow, warming up, temperatures similar today. Everyone in the 80s except for Friona, high of 79 tomorrow, but everyone else in those lower to mid 80s tomorrow. Here locally in Lubbock tonight, low of 58. Tomorrow, high of 81. Slight breeze, maybe cooling us off a little bit at 15 miles per hour. Looking at this weekend, Saturday, actually cooling off a little bit with those rain chances, so high of 75. Warming right back up though on Sunday with high of 84 and partly cloudy skies. Starting off next week, breezy and possible 90-degree temperatures on Monday, and then tapering back off into those mid 80s for the rest of the week. Lows next week remaining mild in the upper 50s, lower 60s. Keep in mind we do have chances of severe weather today as well as Saturday, and keep an eye on those forecasts as severe weather and rain may impact your weekend plans. I'm Elizabeth, and it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. This weekend's upcoming wet weather may lead to some schedule changes for anyone with outdoor plans. But the long stretch of dry weather offered plenty of opportunities for Red Raiders to get outside and have some fun. And as MCTV's Reese Fudge shows us, one campus group recently took advantage of a spring afternoon to give Red Raiders a chance to get creative and test their skills with a popular flying object.
Last Thursday, students passing through Urban Offsey Park may have noticed frisbees flying at a gathering at the pavilion. The Student Activities Board hosted a Frisbee Fiesta, offering the opportunity for students to design their own frisbee and use it in a can jam competition. Jen Gintillis, the nightlife coordinator for SAB, designed the event around creative expression and competition through the use of frisbees.
I kind of just thought that, it'd be really cool to have like a decoration in your room, like for the dorms, a little more personalized touch. Or if, it's a hot day, we need something outdoors and you got it for free, and it's like a frisbee, it would be really nice.
Dulce Maria, a recently initiated member of SAB, says the organization offers a variety of similar events to act as a fun distraction from the academic stress of school.
It's just a way to get away for the students to come out and just interact and use facilities like the rec and stuff like that, be able to catch them like after class, maybe heading home and then just letting them get a free product here from Texas Tech.
Coupled with the event was the opportunity to win a prize through the Can Jam Accuracy Challenge, where competitors attempted to hit 2 out of 3 barrels with their designated frisbee. However, Dulce Maria believes the harsh West Texan winds added to the challenge.
I think the weather kind of takes us off a little bit, just simply because we're dealing with frisbees and just the air is really not helping. But other than that, people have been coming out and enjoying themselves.
Despite the impending end of the spring semester, Gentilis encourages students to explore SAB's remaining fun and free events before the conclusion of the school year.
I would highly recommend checking the calendar, following us on Instagram to get notified about all of our events, and bring your friends, tell everybody you know about it because it's free and it's all here for you guys.
For MCTV, I'm Reese Futch.
As we mentioned earlier, the potential for rainy weather could cause some changes for the weekend event schedule around the Hub City.
But one Red Raider team is still gearing up for outdoor action in an important conference series, while another team hits the road with hopes of extending their winning streak. MCTV's Trinity Boudreaux has details on those stories and other top headlines from Texas Tech athletics in sports. Trinity.
Thank you, Abigail and Yemi. Texas Tech has a packed weekend coming up featuring a baseball and softball series. Let's start with Tech softball. The number 2 ranked Texas Tech softball team came out swinging for another weekend with their 7th straight run rule game against BYU. Game 1 on Thursday ended with an 11-1 win, and it was one to remember because in this game, Nyjeri Kennedy recorded her 1,000th career strikeout and became the 102nd pitcher in NCAA history to hit this milestone. Friday night, Caitlin Terry improved her pitching record to 15-0 and hit her 7th home run of the season to help beat the Cougars 10-1. Finally, Saturday, the Red Raiders brought the brooms out to receive their 27th run rule victory of the season and improve their winning streak to 13. Up next, the Red Raiders will head to Salt Lake City to go up against the Utah Utes. Texas Tech is now 38-2 overall and 14-1 in Big 12 play, while Utah is 26-13-1 overall and 4-7-1 in the Big 12. The series will begin Friday night with the first pitch at 6, then play will continue Saturday afternoon at 1, and the series will close out with its final game Sunday at noon. Texas Tech baseball strikes again. The Red Raiders beat the New Mexico Lobos 10-5 here in Lubbock Tuesday afternoon. Things started off a little slow as the Lobos scored 3 runs in just the first 2 innings, while the Red Raiders did not score their first run until the 4th inning off a wild pitch. Then the Red Raiders scored another 3 in the 5th inning to take the lead, and then finished with another 3 runs in both the 8th and 9th inning. Connor Schaus, Kyler Thompson, and Lincoln Garcia each had 2 RBIs, while Kason Ranieri pitched for 4 innings, only allowing 5 hits and 3 runs. Tuesday's win also marked the Red Raiders' first season sweep of the Lobos since 2018. Next up, the Red Raiders, who are now 19-13 overall and 5-7 in Big 12, will host the West Virginia Mountaineers this weekend at Rip Griffin Park. West Virginia is currently 8-4 in the Big 12, and the series will begin Friday night with a first pitch at 6:30. Game 2 will be Saturday afternoon at 2, and finally the series will end Sunday afternoon with a game at 1. In headlines away from the diamond, there's some good and bad news for Texas Tech basketball teams. Starting with the good news, Lady Raider head coach Krista Gerlich signed a new 4-year contract on Wednesday. Gerlich has led the team since 2020 and coached the Lady Raiders to their first appearance in the NCAA tournament in 13 years. Gerlich's new deal extends her contract to the 2029-2030 season. But in some bad news, Red Raider star point guard Christian Anderson has decided to enter the 2026 NBA draft. The announcement came from a Draft Express in a post showing up on Anderson's Instagram account. Anderson is projected to be a first-round pick after finishing the season averaging 18.5 points, 7.2 assists, and hitting 42% of his three-point attempts. Anderson has been with Texas Tech for 2 seasons, and he leaves a huge hole for the team to fill. Anderson and JT Toppin led the team until Toppin's injury at the end of February. There's still no word on if or when Toppin will be playing again for the Red Raiders. That's all for Texas Tech Sports. It's back to y'all.
Thanks, Trinity. As mentioned at the top of the show, classes will soon begin to come to a close with final seasons only a few weeks away. For some students, that means taking an exam or completing a final project. But at the School of Music, students will be performing the skills they learned throughout the last year.
Red Raider musicians will be showing off their skills in dozens of recitals and concerts from now until May. And this past Sunday, MCTV's Jalen Smith decided to check out one of those performances that featured some low-range instruments to showcase selections from a band that reached the height of music history.
In the world of music, you'd never think 8-string basses could wow a crowd, would you? Well, think again. The Texas Tech University School of Music, as well as the Too Many Basses Bass Ensemble, showed us that there's more to music in the little things, or in this case, the larger things. With the single pluck to the draw of a bow, from She's Leaving Home to Now and Then, the Texas Tech University School of Music, in partnership with the Too Many Basses Bass Ensemble, performed this past Sunday. The musicians used double bass, electric bass, and even guitar to create the various sounds and songs of the Beatles, along with some pieces by Paul McCartney.
For us to do these Beatles songs, first off, it was quite technically challenging for the bass players, so it really made them stretch their wings as musical players. But also, for example, the fact that we did Beatles songs in this admittedly unusual combination, there were a lot of people that came to the audience that I don't usually see in the audience here. So hopefully we reach some new people we don't usually get here in the School of Music.
Director Mark Morton found various arrangements of Beatles songs to highlight the versatility of the double bass. Students also used various techniques such as bow tapping, multiphonics, and singing during the piece to mirror those sounds only some believe possible in the studio.
The double bass is a very versatile instrument in so many ways. It is certainly used in pretty much every style or genre of music. It's as if the bass has all four of the stringed instruments inside of it. The cello, the double bass, of course, the viola, and even when we play very, very high, we're well into the violin range.
During the concert, the ensemble invited the audience to sing, dance, and clap along to the pieces, creating a fun and engaging environment for them to enjoy. This ensemble also allowed students from the School of Music to expand their knowledge by playing various technically challenging pieces while also keeping it fun and interactive.
Being here in the bass studio in the School of Music, I've learned so much technique-wise, but even music theory-wise. More in love to go into theory with your playing, not just knowing your instrument, but like knowing what's going on with the music and what you're doing on your instrument theory-wise.
The School of Music hosts various concerts throughout the year, open to all members of the public. Check their website at www.departments.ttu.edu/music and head to their news and events page to see what they have to offer. For MCTV, I'm Jalen Smith.
So Abigail, are you planning to stop by any of the school's music end of the year performances?
Certainly. I'm an island girl, and like Bob Marley said, when the music hits, you feel no pain. I'd like to get some of that.
Girl, period. You ate that. And you know what? I'm thinking maybe I should go because I'm a huge music fiend, okay? That's why I always come around with my handy dandy headphones. Anyway,
Awesome.
Yeah, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.